Hey guys, welcome back to ESL TV for the EPS of Germany Winter 2014 League of Legends Finals. We're into our second semifinal between Crowd Control and Playing Ducks. I am Jason Kaplan, joined by the not so handsome as me usually, but today looks exceptional, Alex Machine Richardson.
Hey Jason, how you doing?
At Machiney TV.
Oh, it's still there?
Still looking for...
You can see my hand somewhere.
Still looking for the new one, right? Still trying to find the new...
Yes! I will soon find a Twitter that doesn't have Machiney in it. But I will. But
one day.
The dream is real. But we are into Champion Selects. We should probably jump into that one and see what these guys are banning away. So, already we've seen the bans underway. We can see Rengar, Lee Sin, and Jace snatched away by the Playing Ducks side. And, of course, Rumble, Maokai, and Warwick as the final ban, of course, for the CC side. So, first couple of picks, no surprises there, Jason. We're seeing Corki once again, first pick for one of these teams. And actually a Zed picked up first time for that mid lane role. I can only assume, especially since we've seen Lissandra, of course, as those two are pretty flexible. And we'll be seeing Lissandra potentially in that top lane as well as perhaps in that mid. But, I mean, so far, up against Twisted Fate, I don't think Zed will be too worried about that. And, of course, a Thresh as well for that bot lane.
The Twisted Fate, though, that's what I'm curious about. That's probably going to be jungle Twisted Fate.
No. It's happened once. We've seen pro builds and we saw how all of these players have been trying and failing it. I think that was a magical Kiki's 1-1. One-off, rather.
You sure? How much would you like to bet on that? I'm willing to bet that you will cast shirtless that he plays jungle Twisted Fate.
I'm not taking that bet. I don't want to break...
Joe did. Why don't you want to be cool like Joe? Because
Joe is far too cool. And actually we are seeing a Katarina hovered over. Which means I'm not going to take this bet because that's potentially going to be a mid lane cat.
The only reason you ever pick Twisted Fate that early is if you're doing jungle Twisted Fate.
But why? Why would you pick it early? They've got both their mid laners picked. They're not going to take it away from you.
So you might think the other team might take it.
Why
would you pick Fiddlesticks early?
Yeah, true. Someone in chat just said, no, not jungle TF. It's possibly going to happen, I'm afraid.
No one cares what Liebeling has to say.
Mean.
Yeah, she likes it though.
There it is. Okay, so we're actually going to be seeing Fiddle perhaps snatched away. As that, I mean...
Have you heard the fiddle in the middle? There's a middle in the fiddle song?
No, but I think that's something I should have heard. As, I mean...
Well, the fiddle stops Katarina completely.
Yep.
Very squishy team though, but they have an insane amount of damage again, just like we saw in that last game out of the Wolves, which unfortunately did not work out for them. But we do have a Gnar locked in for top lane, Katarina for mid, a Twisted Fate in the jungle, and a Corki Janna in that bottom lane, of course, here. But they're both really squishy teams. But obviously, the side of Crowd Control, they do have a tank in the form of Gnar, at least. I
mean, yeah, that's something. And of course, we've seen this Lissandra-Gnar matchup before. And I think that Gnar really does actually... I mean, yes, he provides that tankiness. I mean, he has kind of innate tankiness without even building tanky items. And it's going to be intriguing to see how that matchup plays out with Koi and Pio.
Yeah, it'll be really cool to see exactly what's going to happen here. If this isn't a slugfest, I'm going to be sad. It
should really, realistically, have a huge amount of kills. Even in the early game, I mean, Katarina is a kind of pentakill goddess. There's a potential for that. But, I mean, just looking over all of the lineups, with the lack of a real front line, and with this kind of TF jungle, we're going to be seeing some serious plays.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, we should probably come off of that and go to our pretty faces here. Back to that one, because we're obviously going to be loading in just a few seconds. And now we can pop... Oh, no, we can't pop him in just yet. But okay. I don't know. I don't like either team's comp, to be honest. Like, I don't like this... Well, I mean, it's kind of nice to have, like, these just go balls to the wall, crazy teams, throw everything you have at them.
Yeah.
But there's so much room for failure. there's just so much room, like Katarina. Like, who on your team is supposed to get them low for Katarina to get resets? I mean, it's always exciting catching a Katarina because I've seen, you know, obviously the resets, but I don't think we're gonna see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of playmaking potential. I mean, with the fact that we've got a jungle TF, there's going to be, every time his ultimate's up, we're going to be seeing a kind of yellow card, some sort of play being made. At least that's what I assume. As we need to quickly jump on into this one. We'll see what they're going to be doing in the early game.
It looks like they will go for a heavy push on the top side of the jungle. And, well, we'll have a pause right away. So, not exactly sure what's going on for that one, but GG leave easy. So maybe they think the game's over already in this one. But either way, let's see how this one's going to break down here, of course. Playing Ducks, we have Koi, we have Zoe, we have Avenue, Brokey, Says. And over on the other side, we have... Sorry, I was just looking at something. We have Pio, Lamabar, or Lamabear, I'm going to call him. Nowhere for you, Intakes and Intox. And already Koi getting pushed here, as we can see. And we're going to take a little bit of damage here, but nonetheless, we'll be fine.
And as the minions coming in 30, I mean, I think it kind of favors the Lumbar or Lembear. What did we go for? Lumbear.
Yeah, because like the A with 2 dots is like an A, you think?
An R.
Bear.
Air. Lumbar.
Llama bear.
Llama bear. Okay. Because, I mean, lumbar, you can have, like, lumbar support. That's
but
like...
there's no U.
Yeah. Lumbar,
I don't know.
lumbar.
Pepper's having some problems on the on the crowd control side. Really, Core thinks it's a 2-0, so quick win for them. Easy. GG's called out. But honestly, having a couple of technical issues here for their side. Calling out to the admins. Hey, guys, help us, please. Something's going on. I don't like change.
Change is hard.
How did they get the not calorie-free Red Bulls?
That's
I was
an issue.
told we didn't have any. That's not fair.
That's an issue we don't really need to...
That's where my issue is really
Okay.
focused on. But it looks like... Actually, I don't know what is going on for either side, but we can talk about, as we did see, though, a big push coming onto the tops of the jungle, out of the side of crowd control. Not exactly sure where they're planning on going with this one, but they did some damage to the Sandra, forced her back. And, again, it comes to the Katarina. I'm not exactly sure how she's going to get her resets in, considering there's so much CC now on the other side. There's a Fear, there's obviously the lockdown for the Sandra, you have, of course, the Thresh Hook and Flay. There's so many things that can stop her from doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, Katarina could be having some issues. There's no doubt about that. But, I mean, Katarina, it's an interesting pick because of the fact that once you do get a couple of... I mean, in my book, it's the same as that Akali, that kind of reset, that kind of hard, kind of hyper carry. That I mean, if you give it a couple of kills, it's Katarina's going to kind of become a little too strong, and I mean that's what they're going to be looking to kind of bargaining on. But that all once again starts us looking towards that TF jungle, and I mean, Jason, for you, and I mean your opinions on this. You saw it coming from the start.
Well, I mean, why would you ever pick Twisted Fate that early?
I mean, yeah, of course there is that, but I mean the fact that this is going to be the second Twisted Fate jungle I've seen. I mean, no, it's kind of been started by Kiki's. From Unicorns of Love, and I mean, I'm interested to see what you think of like the power spikes for TF jungle, and but also like what makes him suddenly viable. Is it just the fact that he's so mobile?
It's the ultimate and the damage he does with auto attacks. So obviously works really well with Devours, but I don't believe Devours was nerfed yet in this patch. It was nerfed in 4.21, so unfortunately, well, fortunately for him, he'll still be very strong here. But his ultimate, it's like original Nocturne, you know, released ult distance, you know, across the entire map practically, and it's impossible to ward for him. It's impossible to stop him from ganking you. Pop a gold card down, your auto attacks do a lot of damage, and you can just gank heavily. Like, you're really dependent on having a strong early game. But you're up against the other side again, like Fiddlesticks. Like, I don't know how this one's gonna go. I really don't. There's just so much damage across the board for both teams. There's so much potential for CC. The Katarina, I feel like, could have been maybe an Ari or something that could have been placed with someone else, and it would have been able to do a little bit better, or at least have a little bit more of an impact in this game. But either way, back in the game here, and let's actually see what is going down here for these sides.
Yep, let's find out. As minions do start to head towards the lane, you can see it's going to be interesting to see actually where the bot lane matchup meet at the moment. It's going to see if we can catch a glimpse of the Janna Corki lane. Is a lane we've seen already in games 1 and 2, brought to us by N Faculty. So obviously, highly favoured lane. As they're just going to be hanging around. Actually, there's an enemy ward there just about to time out, and that's going to mean that they know that the bot lane is actually going to be starting on Gromp. And this is interesting. I mean, how much of an advantage is this going to give them?
Well, I mean, they're the same thing. We saw this in game 1. Start off at the Gromp, start off at the Krugs, get some early experience with a couple of CS, and then get to lane and be fine. So, just kind of a standard start, obviously, for both AD carry support lanes now. And it'll come down to who lets level 2 a little bit earlier.
It'd be interesting to see how this one goes. Of course, actually, Intix managed to pick up level 2 off the back of that, and obviously 1 CS is all it takes for Lucian to catch up with that. So 3.3 to 3.4. And we're going to see who's going to make the move. Who's going to start tipping the scales of this gold and start tipping of what is such a snowbally game. Hook could have connected though. Just goes in between the two of them as Sazed furiously flays in anger off the back of that. And in the meantime, let's turn our attention to the one I'm sure you're all wanting to see. Where is he? Lambert on this TF jungle.
Yeah, you don't take wild cards, by the way, on him, because there's just no point. Like, you get 60 damage for it. It's really not worth it instead of getting the
other than, of course, just the yellow card. Just need one stack so you can kind of get the early stun, that's it.
No, you don't take Q, which is your wild cards.
Oh, I see, sorry.
You shoot the three cards, because it doesn't do any damage. But you do take you max your E, you obviously max W as well. Obviously, you need the stun cards, and you need the blue cards and the red cards for the AoE clear. That's why he's so strong. It has a lot of AoE clear with the reds, but I can see how he's going to gank here. He's already swinging around towards middle a little bit, but it's going to require a flash out of him to make anything happen early on, especially without any CC in these lanes.
Yeah, we'll see what really he's got up his sleeve. So, perhaps there's a couple of aces there. The TF jungle, I mean, how long does it take to have a real presence? I mean, this blue buff's going to be kind of crucial for him. I'm trying to think really when kind of Kiki sprung to action. He was pretty early, like level 3 or 4. We had a flash yellow card in mid. And you've already mentioned the kind of the importance of flash for these early game ganks for TF. And
I'm getting worried watching him right now, though. It takes him a long time to get his gold card out. Like, he started blue a couple of times and he skips over yellow many times.
There you go.
Like, I don't know if it's something he's practiced. Yeah, maybe it's intentional. I hope for his sake it is intentional, but we'll see obviously as the game goes on. I mean, it's so important. If you pull a Reginald on Twisted Fate, then you're not doing Twisted Fate right. You need to be able to hit those gold cards, especially when ulting in. If you have a blue or a red, you just completely messed up and completely wasted that ultimate. So we'll see, obviously, the game goes on. He'll probably kick off around level 6, obviously, when he has his ulti up. But he doesn't have any hard CC in his lanes, except maybe a Gnar knock into a wall. So it's not really easy for him to gank anything. On the other side, though, you have a Sandra who has a lot of CC. You have a Hook, potentially, and a Flay bottom side with a Lantern. Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of lanes here for Fiddlesticks to gank.
Lots of games for Fiddlesticks to gank. I mean, lanes. And we haven't seen too much from Zoinuzu. Zoinuzu.
Taking that protein shake.
Yeah, man, he's getting gains all over the shop. As you can see, CS pretty level as well. 31 to 26 in that top lane and 30 to 32 in the mid. So only real discrepancy so far is actually in the bot lane. You can see actually Lucian leading the way with 31 to just 24 for Intix on Corki. And I mean, this is a matchup which can go either way. Sazed does connect the hook though, and Janna could be taking some heavy damage. Not enough though to really write home about. Instead, just going to be sitting there on... Where is it? There we go. Press the right buttons. I was trying to get a health bar in to kind of have a little look, and you can see both players actually looking pretty low. And I've just realized those names are going to be frustrating. Intox, Intix.
Yeah, I thought they were brothers at first, but they're actually not, so... Oh well. But either way, we had a gank come in middle. Twisted Fate walked in, and he forced the flash out of Avenue, so now you won't have that summoner back up here for a ring gank if we do have it happen. But you know, again, this game going to be, I want to say it was going to be a bloodbath, but it comes down to, like, who makes the first mistake, because it's so hard to come back with, like, full DPS kind of compositions, because you become so squishy, and the other team, if they invest into Zonios or whatever a little bit earlier than you, or maybe Gnar get a little bit tanky, that are too tanky for you to deal with. So you can't really afford to fall behind. You can't really afford to mess up in the early game here, and that's where you're seeing everyone play so damn safe.
Playing safe and sound, but you've mentioned already the flash is forced, and that gives no way for you. A little bit of a kind of avenue to get some abuse and kind of take.
Was that intentional?
It was not. No, I just took Lil towards his name. But yeah, so I mean that gives him that little bit of flexibility now, where he's able to perhaps make Avenue a little bit more cautious for his life. Doesn't have that flash to fall back on, and obviously Katarina, especially once she's hit 6, is able to exert a huge amount of damage in a short space of time, and I think that's kind of changed Avenue's playstyle a little bit. He's going to be taking a bit more cautiously as he's just farming away with it from a distance with his Q. In the meantime, though, it looks like Fiddle's on its way down bit bot.
Looks like he might try to make a gank happen here, as you can see. Going to walk straight in, go the force, the flash, and the fear. And Takes getting killed. First blood going over to the side of Plain Ducks here. Getting just walk through, no wards bomb side, so why not go for it. Meantime, middle lane, Avenue will not die from that ignite, and even no way for you getting very low as well. And then we'll just both be forced back to base.
Yeah, and in the meantime, the only real quiet lane is over in this top lane. You can see pretty standard positioning from both top laners. 58 to 46 now in terms of CS, and they're just going to be happily farming away while all the action happens elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of left to its own devices here. I don't really expect either of them to really pick up a kill. If anything, I think Pio should be able to, or would be able to. Though it's really hard to catch on the Koi with how slippery he is, and obviously how CC that he can.
Was that intentional? Koi? Slippery? Koi fish? No? Oh, I like that. Oh. Just me then. Just me.
Okay. Koi with how scaly. Is that better?
Yeah, oh, he scales well. Oh, there's so much potential.
Damn it.
Oh, you could.
That's why we can't have nice things here.
Oh, dearie me. Anyway, so Koi fish aside, you can see the blue buff is going to be given over to Avenue, courtesy of Fiddlesticks. And I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I always personally see Fiddlesticks using blue better than Zed.
Yeah, cooldown reduction helps with Fiddlesticks ultimate, and not to mention his other abilities. But Fiddlesticks don't really need too much mana in the jungle, to be honest.
The
extra regen, well, not the way it works now. Like for him, I mean, the smite obviously giving you regen back. Smite has a ridiculous. The thing is, what made it so hard for Fiddlesticks to jungle and why he was so mana intensive was because he didn't have wave clear, so he had to always dark win and stuff. In the meantime, bottom lane Intix actually getting caught out here. He does have flash, but going head to head against Brokey.
Looking rough for him. He does go down, but Brokey's low as well. Intox hasn't got the damage to do anything, but TF's on his way. And here he comes. TP's coming in as well as backup, and Playing Ducks trying to play safe, and they do just that. The Claw comes in. Koi keeping him safe though, but the TP in response, and Pio, he could be out of his depth here. Trying his best to do something. Koi is actually forced to flash away, as of course that threat of that gold card is always imminent. Lambert actually managing to select the red card. Don't know whether or not he just wanted...
Fiddle.
Oh, dearie me. Fiddlesticks ult completely fluffs it, and instead as the make it 5 men from that Playing Ducks side make their way down bot lane. They have nothing to show for it. And actually, could be in trouble, actually. Here comes the two ultimates, Lissandra and Zed, respectively. They're going to be taking down Pio anytime now, as he actually manages to back away safely. The courtesy of Janna and TF keeping him safe. Trying to connect the hook. They do onto Intox. This is going to be a bloodbath once again. Back and forth. Katarina doing what Katarina does best. Picks up a double. Looking for a triple, and no way for you. We talked about the power of Katarina if she gets a couple of kills, and she's done just that. You
can't let her get those resets. The mechanic is too strong, and obviously able to turn that one around after baiting in their supports. Intox taking one for the team, picks up 3 kills, gets 2 over to No Way For You, and 1 over to Pio. And going back to Fiddlesticks really quickly, one thing that he really lacked in the jungle, which made him use so much mana, was the fact he didn't have wave clear. It was only his Dark Wind, but now with the new Trailblazer, he's able to AoE smite, do a lot more damage. His Dark Wind cleared out, almost instantly, and that's why he doesn't need the blue buff as much anymore. And allows Avenue to go head-to-head against No Way For You a little bit better, since No Way is not limited on resources, just limited by cooldown reduction, where Avenue technically isn't really as limited by resources either, but you can't just spam abilities with that energy regen.
Yeah, I mean, he can spam his abilities as best as he can, because he's putting quite a lot of poke down on towards Katarina, and I do kind of fear that he hasn't made the most out of it.
No Way going for a Zelynia's first, but going for the Nice Large Rod before boots, as you do.
As well, I mean, it makes sense. When you're Katarina, you've got the mobility anyway with the Shumpo, and it's on a relatively short cooldown. And I mean, in this state, when you get a 1600 gold on your back, you're not going to do anything other than just kind of recall when you can. Recall when you can? I mean, buy a large rod when you can. In the meantime, though, Seize and Brokey just hanging out in this bot lane. CS still favoring Brokey quite heavily. 10, make it 12 CS in favor of him. And in the meantime, as all said and done, you can see the Goldie just slightly favoring Playing Ducks at this stage in the game. Top lane matchup still so very quiet. Koi and Pio just back and forth. Obviously, Koi doing a much better job at farming. Obviously, the pressure that he can exert. Look at this. Pio's in trouble. Hexdrinker's there, but it might just be delaying the inevitable. Goes into Mega Gnar to secure his safety, as he's going to be backing away as fast as he possibly can. As you can see, Fiddle or Zoinuzu on Zoinizi is just going to have to go on a vision clearing mission. And Pio lives to fight another day. Let's see what Seize and Brokey have got for us. Here comes potential if he does connect the hook. Instead, just up to flare away onto Intox. As this back and forth, it just seems so constant. Finally, the hook does connect. Intox is in trouble, and look at his health just disappear. The ult's a little too late, though. Pio's low as well in that top lane. So is Fiddle, though, trying to do his best. Lambert does quite connect, and we have to keep our eye on Koi, as he could very well be in trouble, but so is Pio. Ult comes in. Actually, no, it's his W. I'm telling a porcupine, as now he is on the hunt. 1 gold card is all it takes, and he takes it. Costs him a flash, but that's another kill for the CC side. And Jungle TF sat on quite a reasonable 2 kills, 3 assists. And he's already got his Trailblazer in the bag. So making good moves in the right direction. Avenue just working on his vision. You can see just one, make it 2 pink wards actually on the side of CC on either side of the map. Just looking to perhaps give them some offensive ward vision around Drake. Of course, Dragon will be making an appearance sometime soon. And both teams well and truly aware of that. Avenue just trying to farm away, 89 to 85. So CS still level in that mid lane, and the only lane really worth highlighting the discrepancy is still that top lane. Morellonomicon has been picked up by Koi, and he's going to be happy to do some damage with that one. We've seen quite a huge amount of damage, but No Way For You is in trouble. Great Zhonya's as his team come to keep him safe and sound. As once again, Fiddle's going to have to go for a defensive ultimate. He does get away. It's cost him a big cooldown, but it's better than being in the grave.
Yeah, very true. That was a little bit of a risky move out of him, but he escapes. That's what's important here. Obviously, see No Way For You has that Zhonya's down to go up against Avenue, so he can't be bursted down or popped by that ultimate. Meantime, Brokey and Say's just pushing bottom lane as hard as they possibly can here, and they will take down our first third of the game here. Now 4-5, 13.5 minutes in, and they have about 1,000 gold lead here. And No Way, he better be careful. He's very low on HP, and he could potentially go down here. But like you mentioned before, the big CS discrepancy in that top lane by well, about 30 CS here. Hex Drinker picked up, going into potentially a Frozen Mallet, potentially a Triforce, depending on which way he wants to go. And of course, Morellonomicon on the side of Koi here for that extra CDR, extra regen as well. And not to mention when it comes into these, as team fights, like, yeah, you have a Zhonya's for Lissandra, if you're the Katarina, but then do you have the Zhonya's for, Avenue, or vice versa? Like, you can only Zhonya so much before you can be out of anything, or to get rid of all the CC they have up to go against. And right now, I'm a bear heading up towards the top side. Maybe looking for a gank here. Fiddlesticks already in hot pursuit, though. He's actually in that Tri-Bush right now. Ultimate not up, but he's looking for maybe a counter gank.
Yeah, and he has been spotted out. There was a wood in that Tri-Bush I think he was completely unaware of, and he's been spotted out. Ping, you can see those blue pings. They know exactly where Lambar is. In fact, he's sat on a ward right now, just gazing at it lovingly. Still, only one turret yet to go down, and no turret's really looking like they're anywhere near it for the side of Playing Ducks. Playing Ducks perhaps looking to make a move. They have Fiddle just on the sidelines, looking to perhaps surprise that top lane. It looks like Lambar's given up. He's on the recall, and since PO is left once again to his own devices in that top lane.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a rough time, but he's still going to be effective. Like, if he still builds tanky, he'll be fine here. And as you make that sound, you can see Llama Bear in a tough position here. And Lucy's going to come over the wall. Go-Kart hits Say. He's going to try to ult away from this from the Flay. Will it come in time? No! He doesn't use it, or at least it was on cooldown. And Twisted Fate able to escape that one.
I can't quite believe it. We've seen two junglers get away with their ultimates. Fantastic stuff. And looks like we're going to see an offensive ultimate this time from Zoyu. No. He's going to get away. That little leap from Nara is all it takes to completely negate that Fiddlesticks ultimate, and the dream dies once more for Fiddlesticks. Yeah, I was wrong. His play actually was on cooldown right there, but still, try to see them let escape from that one. Helo's ultimate going to come up, and he'll be able to transform here into that Mega Nara and obviously be able to hold on to them for a little bit longer. But still, they're about to lose a turret here on that top side. Already down to about 400 HP. And not too careful. It actually could drop here in just a few seconds. You can see they're still trying to push in here. No backup coming for either team. And it's kind of transitioned into that kind of standard play we had happen with the top solo laner in support versus an AD carry support when we had the lane swaps, come into play. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we haven't seen too many lane swaps, I think. It's something I've seen a lot less of in 420. I think sometimes some AD carry bot lanes like to give their AD carry free farm. Yeah, I mean, we were saying, I was I was watching the expansion tournament, and the casters were saying, like, there are so many meta plays that we haven't yet to see, and teams kind of still sticking to what they know in somewhat. And Pio looking in trouble here. He's going to go and completely disappear off the map. Introx is going to catch the culling pretty full on. He's going to be going down as well. Double kill in the bag now for Lucian, and that's going to start the ball rolling. That's going to tip the scales once more in goal. And just a 300 gold separating these two teams, but still Playing Ducks back in the driving seat somewhat.
25.9 thousand gold to 22.8, so they've been able to build up a nice hefty gold lead here. But now Dragons, like, are we going to start to finally see some Dragons coming in here? We already have one obviously on the side as CC is able to secure it a little bit earlier on. But will they be able to get their second? And well, not to mention Fiddle, Zoe is already, it's always easy for him to take, which it looks like they will be going for here with the help of Lissandra. And they should be able to secure themselves the first Dragon. Should, woulda, coulda, and they're going to be taking that one down with pretty much no enemy presence, and I think they know it's going to be a free one. CC, they just haven't got the vision. You can see there's literally nothing to provide knowledge on that Drake going down. They're not going to have a timer on it either.
Well, actually, no, they can because they can see the buff. They can work it out for themselves, old school style. And now Koi on the prowl, looking to take that claw. They're looking to make something happen. Doesn't quite connect the Q though, as the Corki in the meantime does some magic in that top lane, securing that top turret. And Playing Ducks looking to do exactly the same thing in that mid lane now. Looking to perhaps catch one off. Here comes the Fiddlesticks, and he's raining in terror. They want that Katarina. 3 ults later, they get her. And Pio is going to meet a similar fate if he's not careful. Meganar flashing around, trying to make something happen onto Lucian. He does just that. Brokey trying to do something, and he does. Picks up a double, backing away. You know they've done plenty already. 2 men down. Didn't cost them anything. And that mid turret, after all said and done, still stands. Hold it, partner, Lambar says. He's got that gold card in hand, but no one there to hold it. As instead Avenue just putting in some abuse onto Corki, and they once again return to this back and forth in mid lane.
All right, so 8-5 now, and Playing Ducks are starting to really snowball this game. We talked about before, you know, with these teams and how they have no real tanks on them. I guess you can count Gnar a little bit, even though he's building damage. You're kind of dependent on being able to burst the other team down faster or quicker or in a better way, but right now Playing Ducks, they've got the number of CC here, and I would assume, or I think I could assume for you that Playing Ducks definitely going to be the favorites in this one, but I want to see them. I want to see a little bit more. Like, obviously they've made some great decisions. They've taken down a couple of turrets here. As you can see, it's 2-1. And they're starting to group up and start to push middle here. But like, if they dive, they're depending on Lissandra to take the turret for a while. Then obviously, you know, maybe ult herself. The problem is you can't ult yourself really as her because you need to lock down someone and kill the other team. Unless you're going for the full AOE, which that if you ult yourself, you'll be able to do here against the enemy team with the backup of Fiddlesticks. But it's gonna be a really risky game. I feel like there's still a lot of kills to come here. Maybe that next dragon comes up, we're gonna see another bloodbath.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about Lissandra. Who would you suggest is the primary target for Ultimate? Is it going to be Katarina? I mean, I think
it's either Katarina or herself.
Yeah, okay, because I mean, No Way for You obviously going to be a primary target, especially now she has that Zhonya's complete. She's just going to be that little bit more dangerous, especially with that extra 120 AP and throw in some armor and the invulnerability. That's a strong item for No Way for You. He knows he's going to be focused, and so opting to build that first is no surprise. Instead, actually, Katarina swapping out her spells for a bit of auto attack, so she's going to be putting some damage on towards that bottom turret and going to get up pretty scarf-free. And that one falls. We're going to see 2 for 2 now, level once again in terms of turrets. And Lambert, the TF jungle, is still yet to fall. 2 kills, 3 assists. He's actually opting for the Tabby, and that suggests he's well aware of the kind of AD presence on this enemy team.
He's obviously trying to stop his work around. No, Lucian. He's 6-0-1. Lucian's going for the auto attack kind of build with the Infinity Edge, with the Zeal, going to that static shiv. So he's trying to mitigate the damage that he can do. Koi getting caught with the stun card, and you can't claw away while you're stunned here. So Twist Ultimate coming in, working out well. But again, like, they don't have a lot of poke to get Katarina to get these resets. Yeah, they have Corki. The wild cards don't really do much. Fiddlesticks going to be going in onto Intix here, or Intox here. Intox just going to walk away.
Or not. Zed-ult comes in as well. Goodbye, Janna, and looks like Thresh meets a similar fate. It's just an exchange onto the supports as of yet, and a nice connect from Gnar. It's just going to be to no avail there as they back away once more and look to turn their attention to this mid turret. But still, 2 for 1, and it's a pretty good exchange. Koi went down at the start of that one, and I think it was more of a case of Playing Ducks just trying to avenge him somewhat.
I don't understand why they committed a Fiddlesticks ultimate to Janna and Bob Pipa. Now Pio getting pushed on here. Obviously, the Lissandra ultimate available. No flash, though. And just be able to leap away. But why would you commit Fiddlesticks ultimate onto the person who could just push you away and stop you from doing anything? Obviously, they got the kill in the M, but they committed Avenue's ultimate. They committed 2 for the support, and that's not necessarily the best thing you should do here. You need to kill No Way for You. You need to kill Pio. You need to kill Intix. John is going to help, yes, but she's not that big of a priority for you.
No, not really at all. I mean, yes, her ultimate.
2 ultimates worthy.
Yeah, not 2 ultimates, especially the Zed ultimate, which can be used to perhaps completely eliminate No Way for You. Even Pio is a threat at this stage of the game. We're going for that Triforce as well, and obviously his X-Rinker doesn't really provide anything against a Zed all-in, but Intox, sorry, there's 2 of them, Intox and Intix, but Intox certainly strong on Janna. Just as a bait, I mean, his presence alone has caused 2 ultimates, baited out 2 ultimates, and actually meant the team fight went, well, I was going to say in favour of his team, and it certainly did in the end, but all it did was cost him his life. Didn't get his ultimate off, though, and of course, Janna's ult can really turn the tide of team fights if used correctly. Still, hindsight is a wonderful thing. In the meantime, you can see 175 to 120. The CS lead still heavily in favor of Koi, but the kills not telling a similar story. In the meantime, Lambar going hard, and looks like Zayo's not going home. He goes down quite fast and quite clinically, really, executed there by the TF jungle. That yellow card flash is just something you cannot avoid whatsoever, as another turret falls in, becomes 3 for 3, and turrets and the gold lead sat with just a slight advantage in the hands of Playing Ducks.
Yeah, so you see the Wit's End now built up here for Llama has a lot of attack speed, and all it takes one go card to really open up. You can see the damage he's going to do here on a Sace, who actually flashes away here, but Llama still takes him down so damn low, almost by himself. And now Koi trying to come in, trying to get the slows. Avenue trying to harass as well here, trying to get some poke in there. But they need their Fiddlesticks, they need that ultimate. And yep, you know, if it comes down to a 5-on-5 fight, I want to say the Fiddlesticks combo is just going to destroy CC, but they haven't been able to get these 5-on-5 fights that they want to have happen. Like, crowd control's been staying split up. They're forcing Fiddlesticks to ult one person, which isn't the right target. And now, oh my god, Intake's getting caught out.
That was beautiful execution from Koi, going that claw just so that he doesn't see it coming, instead of opting to go straight down the lane, opting to perhaps come from the side and surprise him, and that was all it took. Intix goes down, and that's going to be the AD carry down and out for this next team fight, or at least this next push on towards this turret.
Yeah, it should be a push onto the turret. I mean, I don't really see CC being able to hold on to, especially with Fiddlesticks coming in hot pursuit. He has his ultimate to go over the wall. They could just dive under the turret here. He doesn't have Zonia's done just yet, but instead they're going to back away, realizing that Dragons is up, and they go for the man advantage on it.
And the beauty of that TF ult gives them the knowledge that they need. They kind of makes up for their lackluster warding, and instead...
Well, they have the Scuttlecrab ward.
Well, so they have vision, but it's not going to be enough as the Drake just, once again, falls. That's going to be the second now for Playing Ducks, and we'll see what that gives them. Of course, we were talking about the power of Drake in the late game, and even in the mid game, as soon as you start getting 3-4 stacks, and oh, dearie me, Nars going hard.
Yes, he is, and well, right now you see Say's getting very low on the backside as well here, but the Fiddlesticks ultimate getting pretty much Zonia's completely, but the resets coming in for Katarina is too strong, and that is 4 kills for 2 deaths here for the side of CC. Now Avenue to be chased down, that's going to be an ace coming in as well. That is an ace. CC. Great little bit of play right there. You
were talking about they haven't got the team fight they wanted, and that was it. That was their opportunity. That was their kind of time to shine. They had the chance for the Lissandra, they had the chance for the Fiddle ult, and all it did, of course, Koi didn't quite have his ultimate up in time, and it was just ended up in a pretty flimsy response to that team fight. Great performance, though, from CC. As all said and done, 2 for 5. It was an ace in the hole, and 13 to 12, 39,000 to 38, so 1,000 gold favoring the CC side. And just going to back away and celebrate as they go do some shopping. Fiddlesticks finally completing the Zhonya's Hourglass, as we see No Way For You responding in force with a DFG. So Zhonya's DFG Katarina is a huge threat now. And we talk about the kind of assassination potential of Zed, and I mean, Katarina can assassinate an entire team if executed perfectly and supported by her team. And she has the kind of support around her. You have that TF, you even have the Gnar ult as well to get the kind of group stun, combined with perhaps the support of a Janna shield or a Janna ult. There's potential there for a real scary late game Katarina, and it's kind of nice to see Kat in a game of this caliber, but we'll see how far it gets as we progress to the 25th minute.
Well, the fact that CC's been able to claw their way back from being behind is a very scary thing. PO gonna get caught out here on the top side. I expect with him pushed up that far, and they'll commit again. Another ultimate onto him, Lissandra. And he will eventually drop here, but we're going to be punished with, because you can see CC just barely in down middle here, looking for a tier 2, or no, the inhibitor turret, and they have right now PD completely out of position.
They have, and this is going to be a real issue. I mean, of course, PD know that they can't group. They don't want to risk it. They cannot afford to. And when you have a Katarina and TF, they're going to be looking to push this turret as fast as possible, but of course, Avenue has the potential to perhaps assassinate Katarina. No Way For You, Shumpo's away, and looks to be falling quite quiet once again on the battlefield.
Alright guys, well, we do obviously know that the stream is lagging quite a bit, and there's really not much we can do about it at the moment, but when the game does end, we will fix that shortly. Don't want to cut you off from the action, even though it's a little bit of a slideshow for you. But either way, we see the Mikhail's now picked up here for Intox on Jonas, so he has that extra way to get anyone out of some CC. And look at this, they're all waiting for someone to just push in towards their red camp, and you can obviously see him towards the tops of the jungle here. Someone might actually go and face check this, though the red buff isn't up just yet. And Say's walking towards it, and we'll spot out with a lantern here, but Llama Bear popping his ultimate, not going to commit just yet. Unless he's ulting towards the north side, not really in a position to help out with anything. He's forced to immediately run away.
Yeah, I don't know really. His plan there is, of course, perhaps he hasn't got the Zhonya's yet. He's going for the Wit's End build. Obviously, attack speed so strong in this jungle TF, and You can see Sage just clearing vision. Seemed like a wasted cooldown, really. TF ult's such a big one, and seeing it wasted like that, just all it's going to mean is that kind of Playing Ducks have some room to maneuver now.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I don't know, to me, his ultimate's not huge.
You don't think so?
No, not anymore. Because it's like, if you're not going to ult into the middle of the team, because if you do, you're dead. And if you ult off into the sidelines, then you can be feared instantly, you can be locked down by Lissandra instantly. Like, his ultimate, I think, is just mostly used for checking and maybe used later on in a fight to catch someone who's running away. Like, what? You can't just dive into the middle of the team, you're just going to die.
Well, yes, I mean, I see it as more of like an offensive TP. So once the team fight's going on, once, you know, an engage is going on, TF has that ability to just appear. I mean, again, he could split push quite nicely. He's got relatively decent wave clear. They've already highlighted, though, that his Q doesn't do too much. As actually, look at that item currently sat in the bag of Lambar. He's going for the Randuins.
Yeah, they're counting on his engage, as you see right there. Like, this is exactly what they need. They need his ultimate, or sorry, his gold card to really make anything happen. And now they're going to be able to pick up a second kill on a Saze. They're able to gold card him yet again. Pilo might go down from the Cullen. He will eventually fall to Brokey. It doesn't matter. The reset's coming in, and they already picked up 2 kills. A flash gold card on a Brokey. Will they have the backup? You see the damage he does just off of his passive as well. And no way. You see the clean house here.
He's going to do just that, and the Zhonya's perfectly timed avenue can do nothing to this Katarina, extending once more their lead as they're going to be making a move for this inhib, and there's no one there to stand in their way. Just Koi, he's low, and he's just going to have to sit there and watch as his buildings come crumbling down.
Yeah, so I mean, that's their engage, is his gold card. So, like, he could split push, but it's not worth it because they need him there for the team. Like, this is the brawling team. This isn't like a split push kind of team out of either of them. So they pick up the inhibitor. They pick up 4 kills again. They're up now 17 to 14, up about 2,000 gold. And well, with Dragon coming at 45 seconds, I won't be surprised they're looking for another fight. Yeah,
and they probably should, especially now you can see the Bloodthirster completed now for Corki. That's a whole lot of AD, Triforce Bloodthirster. Something we're seeing quite a lot of. Obviously, a couple of blades as well thrown in there for good measure, but overall it seems pretty standard for the kind of, not flavor of the month. I just like how Corki kind of falls in and out of meta. He's very popular during some patches and others perhaps not so much. Or I mean, it's probably more than just AD. Sometimes there's AD carries that are better, but Corki just that stable, beautiful pick. And here comes Fiddlesticks. He hasn't got the flash. His ult's just wasted once again. And now the 2 junglers, we know who's been performing slightly better. Flash forced as well, just with 1 Corki rocket. This could be trouble if CC go in.
Looking for a gold card, look for something here. Lambar trying to chase them down. I don't think he has a speed to catch up on anyone just yet, but here comes No Way. He's able to burst on Zoe right away, and he's continuing to fight a couple of more here as he's just knocking it off this one. He has a Zhonya's up as well if he wants to use it, or just in a few seconds. And this is going to be a whitewash here, and this actually could potentially be the end of the game as well, because now Brokey and Avenue, the last 2 alive, but they have a 5-man squad to worry about pushing it onto the next turrets.
That was beautiful. The DFG instant Shumpo elimination of Fiddlesticks, taking him out of the map, knows that that's just going to be the start of something beautiful. General just to sustain them as they push on towards this final stepping stone for the first game. It's going to be a beautiful finish as the Nexus does fall and CC secure game 1.
All right, so they have to be happy about that, considering they were behind for a majority of the game in that, and yet able to come together as a team, able to really close that one out, able to really perform and to upset Playing Ducks. And again, you know, I think we both agree we had Playing Ducks to be the favorites in this one, and yet to kind of struggle towards that one. The Fiddlesticks, honestly, not really working out too well, as we saw. He really didn't do too much as we hit the later part of the game. I mean, if anything, most of his ultimates were missed, and you can't afford to have that. So I think we're going to see, you know, some completely different compositions coming out of both teams coming into the next game. I definitely would not assume there's going to be a Katarina yet again.
Oh, I don't think so. I think that was a surprise pick. I think that was just a kind of no way for you saying, bet you didn't see this coming, and I bet you guys didn't see them coming either, as here we are. Beautiful. Yeah, so I think, yeah, we're not going to see Katarina again. I don't think we're going to see TF Jungle again. A lot of those surprise picks that CC that probably secured or were a key element to CC securing that win probably won't be seen again. Maybe the Corki Janna bot lane, that's pretty stable. Probably, chances are we'll probably be seeing that either banned out or first picked once again. But overall, I do think that CC, other than the surprise picks, still had some pretty solid gameplay in there.
Yeah, they did. Well, guys, we'll go a quick little break here. When we come back, we'll be kicking off our second game here. CC now up 1-0. We'll find out Playing Ducks can take it back to a game number 3, or CC will be going on to play in the grand finals. We'll see you in a few.